Hey everyone, back again, but with the Raleigh chopper build. In the last video which we did, we fitted the brakes, front mud guard, gear shifter, gear shifter with a gear shifter cover, and the saddle. So today, what we'll be doing, we'll be connecting the brake cables up with the brake levers, go with the handlebars, they'll be going on. That's going to be a bit of a surprise because that was the last piece to the puzzle really. But yeah, it's going to start looking more like a bike. So I'll give you a glimpse on the handlebars. I've just had them back this morning, went to go pick them up. But I want to say a massive thank you to Simon at Nottingham Chrome Platers. He really knocked it out of the park with these. If you look at you can just tell in the finish. They just look, they look the bee's knees really. Really appreciate it, what he's done at the end of the day. It's a skill in itself at the end of the day. Attention to detail and getting a quality finish. And like I say, with a lot of the time we're getting stuff re-chromed. You'll have some waviness but at the end of the day, you take it to a proper place, they'll do a great job of them. So, and it's not just obviously bike parts. He does all types of stuff. He does a lot of classic car stuff, a lot of motorcycle stuff. So yeah, got one of his business cards. So if anybody wants to know where they are, obviously it's Nottingham Chrome Platers. It's on South Walk. What did I say? South Walk Street, Baseford. It's just near Baseford Crossings. So if you want to get anything done, doesn't have to be obviously chopper related. It could always be anything else, chrome plating wise. But yeah, look the part really does set off the bike really. So we'll stick them in there for a bit. So yeah, what we'll be doing today, we'll get brake levers on with brake cables, and yeah, and we'll get the grips on. Just the little details really. Everything set up. So yeah, let's get on it. So what we'll do first, we'll get brake levers in situ. Nip them up. Could do with having a 9mm spanner, but I haven't got one at the moment. So first things first, we'll get brake levers on. Get them onto situ. Loosen them up a little bit. Ooh. Nice, slide on now. Probably want to take them out a little bit more. Why are those so tight on there? Spread it a little bit more. There we go. Would help if I had a bit more of my hands. There we go. We have it. There's one. Slide the grips on it. So which one we're going to put on that one? One side's a little bit cleaner than the other. So original Mark II grips. Well, original Raleigh. I went on a loads of different Raleigh bikes. So that's one side. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. There's one lever. And what tidies this up as well is you'll have the brake lever hoods. So just make the bar look a little bit smarter. Right. The other side on. Nice. That one's a bit looser than the other side. Right. Get them up a little bit. We'll tighten them up properly once, so they're all on the bike properly. Right. So what we'll do, we'll get the front brake cable on, get that into situ. Where's that gone? So what you'll have before you put these brake cables on, there'll be them, and you just literally keep the brake cable in position on the brake lever. So just attach into the brake lever just beforehand. So just get that popped on. I'm just doing a voiceover as the sound cut off. So what I'll be using on this is stainless steel brake cable winner. Just reason being, it's they are better cable to use. Instead of using like a galvanized, as time goes, they do start to corrode. So I always prefer to stick them in. And then with this end, what I'll be showing is if you ever lose your mushroom for the bottom of your stand, you can always use these if you just flatten the top head off. So yeah, if you don't do that, it won't go all the way in. But it is always an good alternative. So yeah, let's get. So what I'll be doing next is there's a little brake ferrule which you'll need to use when it comes to inserting onto the brake levers. Because if you don't use that part, it will slide around and remove itself from the brake lever. The tension still will be there, but by doing that, it just keeps it in the right position. So what I like to do is dab the cable in a bit of grease just before running it through the brake housing. Reason being, it just helps it run smoother. And then you can still always spray some like GT85 down the brake hose just so it runs up free. But with doing this technique, it just eliminates doing everything like that. So this is the front brake. So we've got a shorter housing on this side. And again, what I'd like to announce basically, with on the original choppers, they've got a rib brake cable. So a lot of people out there, they would prefer to have rib cables instead of the smoothed edge cables. So applying the hood, you want to put the hood on just beforehand. Reason being, once you've already set all the cable out, you struggle to fit them on. And with the hoods, they position themselves with the cable. So that's what we'll do. Feed this up to the adjuster. And there should always be another ferrule just on the end so that the cable doesn't pull through. It shouldn't do, but it always keeps it nice and tidy and helps it stop wobbling around. So what I'm doing now, I'm just releasing off the clamping screw. That's it, it's fed through. Bit of time just feckling around basically. So that should be in the right position now. Then we'll clamp that up, just so it stays in the right position. And then when you've done that, you don't have to clamp the brake caliper down too much because you can always use that adjustment screw just above, just so you can finally tweak on your pull on your brake. And there we go, it looks like we've got a brake now. Give it a little bit of feckling, we'll check if the that's tight as well. Make sure that bolt's tight as well. You don't want the brake cable pulling through. Okay, that should be nipped up nicely now. So once I've done that, I'm just going to check the brake pads are in the right position. Don't want them rubbing on the tyre or missing the rim completely. There we go. Make sure that hood's staying in the right position. So yeah, that looks like we've got the front brake done. Snipping the end off for your brake cable. Just remember to always put a crimp on the end. Just help stop the end of the brake cable fraying. There we go. Fitting that crimp now, just so, like I said, stops the brake cable from fraying. Keeps it all looking nice and tidy. So now we're onto the back brake. So with these, like I'm just pointing out, I always prefer to put the brake cable on the left side, and then on the right side we'll use the gear cable. There's a bit of controversial, obviously with original bikes, where you have the brake cable running through on the right side, and then the gear cable just running on the top of the plate, what we call a cleat in chopper terms. So yeah, what I like to do, gear cable on the right side, brake cable on the left. And then what I'm doing now, I'm just routing it just underneath the gear shifter. Same again, just keep it nice and tidy. So okay. Sometimes you have to cut these cables down to suit on the outers, reason being they can be a bit too long, but with these cables, obviously, if you've got a Mark 1, the frame's slightly a little bit longer, so it just allows it. So this time around, though, from the last time I brought these cables, this one was a bit shorter, so it worked out okay. So it's just at the right length. So same again. We'll snip that end off. That's what I'm grabbing now. Yeah. So same again. Get the brake cable, snip that end off, and save that to one side if you ever need a mushroom for your stand, which I was explaining. So same again what I was doing, just dab it with a bit of grease on the inner cable. Same again, use that brake ferrule to keep it in position on the brake lever. We'll feed that through. But by the looks of it on this part of the video, it did get stuck on the bottom end of the ferrule on the caliper side, the brake caliper side, so I had to take that off. So that's what you'll see me doing now. So that's it. That should be the same as what we did on the front brake. We'll fit the hood, the cable, so it goes all on with in one piece basically. And we'll pull that tight in a second, get it clamped down. The same again what I said on the front, you've got that adjustment screw, so don't worry if you haven't clamped it all the way up on the rim. Just get it to where it's just at a nice space, and then you can always use that adjuster screw just after, just to get a better pull on the brake. But just take in mind these cables do stretch like any brake cable or handbrake cable on a car. They do stretch, so you do have to have a little bit of adjustment over time. So please take that in mind. So what we're doing now is just tighten up the brake levers, get them in the right position. So yeah, once they're in the right position, we'll get well, we've already fitted the grips, so they're already on. So I hope all you guys are enjoying this type of content. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, and press that notification button because you'll see further projects I'll be doing down the line. So at least you'll be notified for that if you're interested in this type of content and all enjoying it. So yeah. Also, don't forget to put a nice comment in the section. It just helps with the YouTube algorithm, gets all these videos out there, which is always great. So what I'll be fitting now on this video, we'll be fitting the bell. It's not an original one, and it's not of the same era, but it just gives that aesthetic look of an old bike. So we'll get that on. So right now I'm just taking the screws off. So there you go. You can see type of style of bell it is. It's just a generic chrome bell. So just get that all in position. Just make sure when you put these on, just adjust the screws up so when you come to tighten it on the handlebars, it screws on equally. It doesn't have one side where it's screwed up tight and then one side loose. So what I'm showing right now, which is quite funny really, I brought one pedal off eBay. Reason being, I already had the other side, which was the left, and I was scrolling through eBay one day, and a right side popped up. So I brought that. So now they're a matching set of pedals. So at least now there's not one odd pedal I've got, which is in quite good condition for its age. So we'll get them fitted on. So yeah, at the end of the day, they're not mega mint pedals. They are good originals. So at the end of the day, these bikes are ridden. So we're not going for mega show standard type of bike. We're just going for a nice, good looking bike at the end of the day. So before applying your pedals, always dab a bit of grease on your threads. Reason being, you don't have a fun time getting pedals off once they're seized into the crank. So at the end of the day, it's steel on steel. So it's always good to put a bit of grease on it. It could be copper grease, or just a bearing grease or something. Any grease really. Just make sure you put something on there just beforehand so you don't have any issues with pedals seizing to your crank arms, because you could be there for ages trying to get them off. So this is another part which a lot of guys anybody in the rally chopper has seen really. So brake tidy. So it just keeps your brake cables together. I do overlay my brake cables when I do fit them so they don't flap around. But yeah, just fitting that just gives it that aesthetic original look. So yeah, they normally do get broken off over time, but having an original one always sets it off really. So yeah, got front brake on there, looking good. Starting to look the part this bike is into comparison to how it started. But it's quite funny really, because I brought the bike, well, I bought a frame of forks at Emberton about over a month ago, and now we're at the end of the build, so it's a very, very fast turnaround to get this bike looking as it is. I'd like to thank Wayne Barker for the seat and back rim, David Bedford for the front mud guard. So yeah, it's quite nice to see this bike all coming together. It's come a long way in a short amount of time, so it's really nice to see if you put your mind to something, you can always accomplish anything. So it looks good. So yeah, like I said, if you enjoy this type of content and want to see more of it, I'll try my best to get some more videos out there. I've got another one which I am going to be doing next, and that'll be my brother's Mark III. It's a bit of a custom bike as it is. It's not really rebuilding it, it's more just giving it a refresh of stickers, and got another seat which I'll be putting on a Mark IV seat. So yeah, it's going to have a gear shifter put on it as well. It's already got one fitted, but I'm not happy how I fitted it, so I'll be removing that and then reposition it. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm quite happy how this Mark II Ultraviolet's come along. Really, it's really took shape. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I'm not trying to go for a show bike. I'm just going for, well, just a nice looking original Mark II, which I do know it has had a respray, but aesthetically it does look the part, especially with all the parts which I've fitted. Not gone down the road of getting everything re-chromed bar the handlebars. But yeah, it's looking good. But if you all could like, share, follow, subscribe, just press that notification button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm on these bikes, really, so get some out there more. So yeah, I'd like to thank Simon as well at Nottingham Platers, which did the chroming on the handlebars. So thank you very much for watching. You take care, guys.